Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alina, and I'm a growth-minded single mom here in Houston, Texas. And today I'm going to go over a few things. I'm going to kind of yap in this video. It's literally July 31st, and I have a goal to post 2 videos a month. And this is my second video of July. So I don't know. I just had a few things on my mind lately, and I just wanted to share them with you. And yeah, I hope you can just turn this video on while you're driving, and just listen as if I'm just a friend telling you about what's going on in my life. And if you have any input into anything that I'm been thinking, going through, anything you want to share in the comments, please do so. I would love to, like I have mentioned in the past, I want to create a community of like-minded women. So, because I do feel that as a single mother, I have felt forgotten about, felt alone in life. And although I'm doing my best to take accountability, self-accountability, and go out there and create the community that I feel like I've been missing in my life, um, I realize that, not everyone's in that place. And even with putting an effort to like meet people in real life and develop community, it takes time. So I hope that this channel will draw in people who, um, are on a similar path in life, and hopefully we can help each other out. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start off this video by going through Q2, how I did with my goals that I listed in Q2. Um, Kind of just do a self accountability, see how I did in Q2. I'm gonna move forward and talk about Q3 and do an overall look at how I'm doing with my big goal chart that I created earlier this year. I'm gonna make that super quick and brief, hopefully. And I do want to talk about some other things that I have been experiencing. I want to talk to you guys all about where I'm at with my faith. I want to tell you about what's going on with my dating life and just some thoughts about co-parenting as someone who's a decade in, because I've met a lot of moms who are kind of at the beginning stages, and I just want to give you guys some things, some advices that come with time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, let's see. Okay, I think you guys should be able to see that. All right, so in Q2, my main goal was to earn my first assignment fee through wholesaling, and I had some side quests to continue posting 2 times a month on YouTube, to begin a monthly Arabic series shorts on YouTube, and to take my public declaration of faith in Islam, which is called Shahada. All right, so I did not, spoiler alert, I did not get my first wholesaling fee yet. Q2, what it actually looked like was me realizing that I was not going to be able to live the dream that God had put in my heart, has put in my heart, unless I left my job. And so I did that. I resigned, and I am about 1 month into my new chapter of life where I am building my real estate business. So this goal to earn my first assignment fee is something that will be carrying over into Q3. And I think that's okay. I'm okay with that. I feel okay with about that. I do wish that I would have earned my assignment fee, but looking back, I think I did my best. I think I took major steps. I quit my job, I set up my systems, and I know that in Q3 I can make this happen. All right, and as far as my side quests go, I was able to continue on with my 2 times a month posting on YouTube, and I did not begin my Arabic short series. Um, Actually, I think that Arabic, I have not continued with my daily practice, and that's something I want to get into in my Q3 goals. But Um, I'm like maybe 3 times, 4 times a week studying Arabic, so I'm nowhere near posting a short series on in Arabic, but that's something I want to work my way to. Right now with Arabic, I'm mostly listening to podcasts out of like, anywhere from point 0.6 to point 0.8 speed and going through and looking at the transcripts and dictating what they say in the podcast. But I feel also very shy, very inexperienced with being able to express myself in Arabic. So that is something that I, am mindful of, and I want to get better at that moving forward. But I just haven't taken the time to like sit down and create an actual plan of action um, to achieve, markable goals, to achieve like tangible goals with my Arabic practice. So that's where I am with that. And in terms of taking my Shahada, I have not done that yet. And I will get to that a little later in this video. All right, so Q3. Actually, I have not like well, maybe these are the same. I would have the same answers to these questions. Remember that I took Ali Abdal's um like I can't remember what it's called, but he had like a goal setting seminar. And that's where I got this sort of format from. But like I mentioned, I moved over my assignment fee main goal here, and I did update my side quest goals to still continuing to post 2 times a month on YouTube to continue daily Arabic practice. So I dialed back my goal of starting a short series on YouTube in Arabic to just continue with my daily practice. And I feel that in Q2, my um, physical health suffered a bit, like my consistency and vigor with being active and healthy. I went through a lot in Q2, and I feel that this part of my life suffered. And I love being active. I love feeling strong, and so I want to recenter that in my life. So that's Q3, and just an overview as to what I've accomplished in my big goals. So I do want to have a look really quick at where I was at in Q2, how my chart looked. So I'm just going back to this screenshot in this video. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals that I accomplished as of my second episode in this series. All right, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, I think that's so interesting. Is I don't think I knocked it out of the park in Q2, but I still did make progress, and I think that's so amazing for myself. All right, so I think I had already paid off my personal loan in Q2. I did develop my student loan repayment plan. I just like bit the bullet and called the I don't know, like my loan servicer and came up with a situation that worked better for me, like a lower monthly payment so that I can get back in like a good credit standing because my credit really suffered from um, these student loans. So yeah, ultimately, my goal is to like pay off those loans very vigorously once I start really bringing in money and wholesaling and be able to pay that off quickly, inshallah, inshallah. All right, making 5 to 10K annually through a side hustle. I did mark that off last in Q2 because I was offered a side hustle that would bring me in an extra $1,000 a month. Now I don't have that, so I don't really know where, I guess in theory I achieved this. So I'm just gonna move on. I'm not gonna think too hard about it. All right, in terms of relationships, my goal was to strengthen my network by investing in relationships with people who inspire me. I have definitely done that. I've gone far, way far out of my way this summer, specifically while Phoenix is with her dad's side of the family, to hang out with girls, to hang out with women that I think are awesome, that seem very cool. And as an introvert, that has at times felt really tiring, but yeah, just that's something that God put in my heart. I'm trying to build community, so it's worth it. All right, invest time and effort into existing relationships. I've definitely done that. Not only have I been meeting new women and forging new relationships this summer, I have also definitely made time for women that I have had already befriended up until this point. So, all right, in terms of my career, um, so these like Arab barometer projects, they're just not going to happen. Ask an Israeli, ask a Palestinian projects they're not happening. I've shifted my focus. I've shifted my career goals. So I guess maybe at the end of the year, maybe I'll just mark these in red, or maybe I could just do that now. Let's see. I wonder how it's going to feel to like mark things in red. Or maybe I could just mark them in black. I don't know. Dark gray. How do I do this? Okay. Or should I do it in black? That way you can't see the words. Yeah, I'll do that. Cool. All right. In terms of experiences, I visited my sister in Austin and I did go for a hike with my daughter. We went to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, or on like Memorial Day weekend or something. And so that was really a nice thing to cross off my list. Going back to Mena, I'm not going to take Phoenix to Mexico probably until the end of next year, but we are going on a trip that I will announce, after we go on it. That'll be like Q4, I think. Developing a signature hairstyle. I think I knocked that off in Q2. And continue coding. Oh, with my daughter. Yes, yes. I had her in coding last in Q2, which was her spring semester. We finished that, and I did get her in a foreign language, a school that specializes in foreign language. All right, so that is just a look at my overall big goals. I feel pretty proud of the work that I've done so far. I'm still reading this book slowly but surely. I need to improve on my health goals, spend more time there. Um, I want to, I should be attending more like real estate Middle East events. Yeah, I like where I'm at. I like where I'm at. Although, since it is July, no, it's almost August. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this year has gone so fast. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then just yap to you guys for a little bit now, if that's okay. All right. So moving forward this year, um, I really want to focus on slaying this wholesaling business. I want to not only become, expert level on it, I want to consider taking sales courses, become very proficient in developing a sales skill, being able to talk to people on the phones. And I want to be like those women that I see online that are like, I could sell ice to a penguin or something, or I think they say they sell ice to an Eskimo, but I don't know. I don't think Eskimo is like a politically correct thing. I'm not sure, but I want to be very proficient in my sales and be able to bring that into my business and, hire team members and, you know, my ultimate goal with this business is to be able to have financial freedom and time freedom. So right now that the business is just me, I do feel that I have more freedom than if I were at my 9 to 5. But still everything relies on me. So if I don't, you know, do every little part of the business right now, it doesn't get done. So I do want to move past this phase, although I'm very thankful to be here, very, very thankful to be learning. In my last video, I talked to you guys about how terrifying it is to be on the phone, and I do still have that fear. But it's getting easier. It's getting easier, and I'm celebrating the small wins there. So that's number one is to slay the business. Number two, slay and grow the business. Number two is that I want to get in better shape. I want to come back to my roots of mobility, calisthenics, and running. And, I had taken time off from running this year because I hurt my foot, and now I'm feeling a lot better and just learning the importance of form, taking my time to increase the mileage in my runs and not to push my body too far. And it feels good. It feels good to be back running. And I do believe that I'll be able to make it the 10-mile run this year. Maybe not by the end of the summer, probably not by the end of summer, but I think by the end of the year. And I'll be really happy with that, really proud of myself. Okay, so that's number two. The third thing that I want to focus on is just having a plan with Arabic because right now I just feel like I'm listening to stuff. I'm not really feeling that engaged because I don't have any goals other than to spend time with Arabic regularly. So I need to find a way in my new schedule to implement like meaningful Arabic quality time, I guess. Maybe I could get a tutor. I think that would be nice to get a tutor and dedicate, 2 or 3 times a week, an hour each time with a tutor, 30 minutes an hour with a tutor. That way we can set goals together and develop a course of action together. And it would, also build accountability, and I would have someone to talk to and build my confidence in Arabic speaking. So I'm going to think about that. That's something that'll come secondary. The tutoring comes secondary to me building this business because I need to make money in order to afford tutoring. Okay, but that's the third big goal that I have at the forefront of my mind. And then obviously spending time with Phoenix. I want to um, help her develop life skills. Like, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I got a sewing machine. I want to do more cooking with her or let her lead cooking projects. Um, art, I don't know what else. Like, money is a life skill. She knows how to do her own laundry. Um, what else? Yeah, gardening. Gardening is an important life skill. And continuing with our STEM projects because I feel that it with STEM we develop problem solving and just the ability to like build things. And I want her to know how to, I don't know, how things go together, connect to one another to function. I think that's an important skill. So that's that. And then finally, I do want to focus on my trips. I'm taking Phoenix somewhere nice. I'm going with my siblings. We're very excited. Hopefully, in the future, I'll have like videos and pictures to share with you guys. And yeah, I want to go to the Middle East. I want to go to the Middle East next in the summertime, summer 2026. I am going to the Middle East in summer 2026. I already am allocating my credit card points to buying my plane ticket to the Middle East. I think I'm going to go to Jordan, but who knows? I just want to be in the Middle East and I want to study Arabic. I want to practice my Arabic. It would be cool to go and learn about the sustainable real estate developments that are going up, like in Oman. They got like Yidi City. They have some sustainable developments in UAE, in Saudi Arabia. It would be cool to go study those things, but I don't want to put too much on the trip. I really mainly want to be in the Middle East and I want to practice my Arabic. I want to have a more intimate relationship with Arabic through being in the Middle East, speaking with native speakers. All right, so those are like the main focal points that I'm keeping in my heart moving forward this year. Now, where am I with my faith? Okay, so one of my goals for Q2 was to take my Shahada. I'm coming from a Catholic background, and however, for me personally, the main thing that doesn't resonate with me with Christianity is the Trinity. I believe that there is only one God worthy of worship, and he has no partners. So it by default that makes me not Christian. And I've spent many years trying to figure out what that does make me, and I think Islam is the best path for me. Now, I have been doing my best to implement Islamic practices into my life since just before Ramadan started. So this year was my first time practicing Ramadan. And I'll tell you, it was so challenging. And I told myself, I was like, if I can, if this Ramadan is a success for me, if I can make it through Ramadan, then I'll take my Shahada because I know I can be a Muslim. But it just did not happen that way. I think I was like 50% in Ramadan because I made it through about half of the days throughout the whole month of fasting from sun up to sundown. It was so hard, like the headaches, the shivers, the sleep interruptions, like trying to go to sleep on a full stomach because you just ate for the whole day, and it just like your stomach hurting and just feeling so uncomfortable. So challenging. Oh my gosh. Um, so I don't know. I think that like made me question my capabilities as to whether or not I could be a good Muslim. And also too, I am nowhere near the requirement for salah, for prayer. In Islam, you're supposed to pray 5 times a day during certain periods of the day, and I'm just nowhere near that. It's like not even on my radar to make it to those amount of prayers every day. And so I'm like, okay, I can barely, I'm not successfully making it through Ramadan. I'm not anywhere near being, a good Muslim in terms of the number of times that I'm praying in a day. And also, too, I'm gonna be honest, like, I baptized my daughter Catholic. So she has celebrated Christmas her whole life. My parents, they've taken her to Catholic church, and you know, this is the first year that she's not we're not doing the Santa thing only because she asked me earlier this year, she was like, "Is Santa real? Like seriously?" And then I just told her the truth that like, no, Santa's not real. Or, I mean, Santa is real, but Santa's your mom, your dad, your grandparents. Those are all the people who make Santa real. But the challenge that I'm having is that I feel that I'm turning my back on my culture in a way because Catholicism is a large part of my memories, a large part of my connection with my family, my connection with my ancestors. And I'm having a hard time trying to anticipate how this decision that I'm making for my faith will affect my daughter. Because I'm deciding that I want to be Muslim, but I don't know that Phoenix wants to be Muslim. I don't want to make any decision for Phoenix in terms of her faith. What I want to do, my goal is to show her a path. Let her know that this path is here for her. Let her know more importantly that God loves her and God is with her always. God um, sees the greatness in her even when she doesn't see it, and especially when she doesn't see it in herself. This is my main goal in terms of faith with my child. But what if she is happy to be Christian? What if what if she's so disappointed by the idea that I'm not celebrating Christmas anymore? And does that mean that I should still celebrate Christmas if she wants to in the home? I don't know. I'm struggling with this. And I have a lot of like sentimental ornaments that we've collected over the years. Like it's a tradition in my family to get an ornament to represent each person in the family based on who they are in that year. So, my grandma's been getting me ornaments since I was a child, and I've been getting Phoenix ornaments since she was a child. or I mean, she is a child, but since she was a baby. So it's a hard thing to think about letting go of that. And I know that whatever I give up for the sake of Allah will be rewarded with greater, but I don't know. I feel so conflicted, and that's really what is keeping me from taking my shahada. One, am I like even capable of being a good Muslim? Like, can I call myself a Muslim? Can I take my Shahada and declare myself as a Muslim if I'm not doing the things that are required of Muslims, which is praying 5 times a day and fasting during Ramadan and the other pillars of the faith. So that's where I am with my faith. I'm still attending like Islamic classes and definitely making it a point to connect with other Muslim sisters. And that feels really good. That feels really good to me. So I'm just going to continue moving forward. And like my friends, I have a friend, she lives in Saudi Arabia. We met here in Texas as part of a language exchange program. And she was like, "Why have you not taken your Shahada?" She's like, "Is this like a research project or something?" Like, it's not a research project. I'm just, you know, slow and steady wins the race. I want to make sure that this decision I make is for the long haul. I want to make sure, and I know I am worthy, but I just want to make sure that I can like fulfill the um what's required of me. So let me know if anybody listening has ever, you know, made a change in their life that was something that felt right and felt good, but also had elements of, sadness to leave some things that feel sacred, some things that feel really important to you behind. All right, and what's up with my dating life? I will say I don't have a dating life right now. Last month I was feeling really down about it because of a few things. I mean, one is that I'm 31 years old and I have this idea that I want to have like 4 kids, so there'll be 3 more kids. And I do want a partner to, build a family and build a life with, build a legacy with. And the truth is, I just don't really get approached all that much. And that can kind of wear on a girl's confidence. Makes me think like, you know, d do men even notice me? Like, are men even interested in me at this point? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it makes me feel sad. I do feel lonely, especially whenever my daughter is away, and I'm just like, gosh, it would be so nice to be looking forward to this time alone, so that I could spend some time, um, you know, developing a romantic relationship with someone. And I think I was like kind of spiraling about it, to be honest, for a while. And then and in the same breath, like I feel a sense of responsibility to like go out and do things because I feel my natural positioning is that I want to be at home or I want to be like really on my routine, like waking up at a certain time, going doing my athletic stuff at home, doing my work stuff, or, taking care of my home, planning, cooking, going to the grocery, in the evening, doing more athletic things, and then coming home. And I do all of these things for the most part by myself. And that's what feels most comfortable to me. And I'm putting myself out there by fostering relationships with other women. That's like my next phase in building community. But it's like, okay, well, how do I push myself out of my comfort zone to be in places where men are and feel comfortable coming up to a woman and expressing an interest in a woman? Because, you guys, I don't drink, I don't go out to the clubs or anything like that. Um, so I'm trying to do things that honestly interest me and have an open like demeanor to invite any, man, hopefully quality man that wants to speak to me. Okay. Um, yeah, so I've been feeling a bit of pressure on myself to go out and just be outside more. And I feel like that like it makes me so tired. It's like exhausting to try to figure out where I need to be, try to be there and like feel awkward and also still not really be approached that much, to be honest. And I mean, when I am approached, for example, a man approached me in the grocery store parking lot and we had a conversation very nice about gardening, like things that I'm actually interested in. I'm like, oh my God, this is so nice. And he asked for my number and I gave it and like I never heard anything. And so that like those I'm like, okay, this is the encounter that I've been waiting for all summer is for a man to approach me in real life. Check. So that was amazing. Get asked for my number, check, and then never reach out to me. This is confusing. All right, so I prayed about it and I feel that God spoke to me. And some people don't understand if you have never heard God speak to you, and I don't know how it is for everybody, but for me personally, when God speaks to me, I feel like it's just a clarity that comes to me. It's not like I hear a loud voice in my head. It's more of just like a message comes forth in my mind and creates, it comes forth with peace, with clarity, and it comes forth in a way where I know that this is the message that I need to trust. Okay. So, what I heard in response to my prayers about this was that Allah will lead me to the right place at the right time to meet the right person. And what that means to me is that I just feel I'm going to take pressure off of myself to meet someone. I'm going to take the pressure off of myself to, you know, go to all these different places to try to meet a guy and present myself in a certain way to meet a guy. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't think that now is the time that I'm supposed to meet my partner, right? Like, I'm, I've got two very major things on my plate that take up a lot of most of my emotional energy and my time. Okay. One is Phoenix, and that she's starting a new school. And this year we're focusing a lot on her athleticism, which means we're having a whole totally new routine. I've got her enrolled into cross country, swimming, and gymnastics this year. And so my number one, one of the main things on my plate, like half of my plate, is just making sure that I'm meeting Phoenix's needs in terms of her athleticism and her emotional needs because she is going to go through a really big change this year. She's going to be around totally new people. And, that's why I quit my job because I wanted to be here for her. So it's a new phase that we're entering in, and I just want to make sure that I'm there for her and supporting her, and that is really big. And my hope is that a year from now, we'll be in a more settled place, and that this won't feel like 50% of my plate. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe like it's crazy of me to think that my child's needs at some point can diminish to be smaller than 50% of my plate. I don't know. Because maybe she will have some different issue next year. I don't know, but what we're going through right now in terms of, getting her in a healthier state just feels so important. And that's 50%. And the other 50% is me just reaching my goals, like with my business and growing my business and having a financial foundation that I feel proud of, paying off my, student loans, feeling centered in my financial literacy. These things feel really, really important to me, and that's the other 50% of my plate. And so I don't feel that I would reject um, a good man. I don't feel that I would just automatically reject a good man due to timing, but I do feel that I don't believe that I will be brought a man. I don't think a man will come forth toward me while my plate is this full because Allah knows that I don't actually have the capacity to invest time or emotional energy into um, dating or getting to know a man. Because, like, literally, when am I going to do that this year? I don't know, but that's just where I'm at in dating. And that makes me feel a bit better about not having been approached or any man approaching me in a serious way, because I think Allah is protecting me, and I think Allah is keeping me on the right path toward the goal, the dreams that He's put in my heart. So, and also too, I'm just trying to think about like how to go about dating. Um, like considering that I am moving forward or moving along this path to becoming a Muslim woman, um, being a Muslim mother. I don't know how Muslim people date. I know there's like, there's their own thing of like, you're not supposed to even date. Like courtship is a very particular process, and it's like, is that how I want to go about it? Because like if I go about it in that way, am I going to get are my options going to be very religious men? And I don't think I want a very religious man. I do want a Muslim man or a man with a Muslim background, but I would consider that my goal in Islam is to be like um, you know, moderate Muslim person, woman, mother. And so I'd like somebody to meet me there. I don't really want to be with somebody who's going to have like, you know, unrealistic religious expectations of me. So, that's another thing that I just wonder about. And although like I said, I feel that God has told me that, He'll lead me to the right place at the right time to meet the right person. Um, so I don't want to think about it too hard, too much. But yeah, that is just another thing. It's like, how do I even date? I don't know. All right, and the last thing that I want to yap about in this video is co-parenting. I um I am I want to say like I'm friends with this person, but I'm not friends with this person. I'm actually not friends with that many people. I would say that I know a woman and we have a relationship, a friendly relationship with each other, and she is like in the very beginning stages of co-parenting with her ex. And when she talks to me, I like totally feel her pain. Like if you're a single mother and you remember the beginning of co-parenting with your child's father, and I'm sure you remember just all of the frustration and the disappointment and the anger and the sadness, the grief, all of it. So when I listen to her, yeah, I really understand where she's coming from. And I am very cautious to give people advice because I feel that a lot of times when you have advice to give, you have to gauge where the other person is in their journey. Are they even open to receiving advice, or are they just wanting to be in the place where they are and still needing to process on their own? So I find that in this particular relationship, I just listen to her. But I do wish that I could just tell her, like, you know, tell her the following things that became clear to me over time. And Not to say that if someone had given me this advice when I was really in the beginning of this co-parenting stage, that I would have taken that advice. But yeah, I think it's worth sharing because it's something that I learned. Um, okay, going through a breakup and trying to co-parent is really challenging, and I would want to encourage any newly single mother to be patient with herself, really dive deep into self-care when and where you can, because your emotions are going to be of the utmost importance in the journey that you find yourself in moving forward in this co-parenting journey. So, in the beginning stages of co-parenting, it is really important that you learn really good self-care, develop a really good self-care relationship, number one. And maybe even before that, maybe therapy. Therapy would be really beneficial because chances are your relationship with your co-parent is not going to be therapeutic. And there are going to be so many people who have opinions and are going to tell you what you're doing wrong in the situation. But we all need space to feel safe to express ourselves and have someone validate the experience that we're going through. And so I will always, always, always encourage single mothers to go to therapy. Okay, so you'll go to therapy, you'll learn how to do self-care so that you can be in a better baseline emotional state for your child and for your co-parent. Okay, the next most important thing is to totally decrease the expectation that you have of your co-parent. I'm not saying every father, um, how can I say this? Men are all different, right? So I'm not trying to make a blanket statement about fathers, single fathers, or baby daddies, because every man is different. But my experience was with a very specific kind of man. And so what I'll say is it's very important to decrease your expectation of them. Like literally put the bar on the floor. And that's not what we're taught to do as women. We're taught to keep the bar really, really high. But that's for a totally different scenario. Okay. In the scenario where you're having a contentious relationship with your co-parent, he is not doing what he's supposed to. He's not his involvement in your child's life is not helpful to you at all. You need to decrease your expectations of him because the more that you take it upon yourself to be his accountability police, the more you're going to drive yourself mad. Okay, so in my opinion, this means that you need to move forward with your life. Um, you know, make sure that your schedule is set in a way that benefits you and your life with your child. But you do have to also meet the requirements of your custody order. And if you do have that in place, and if you don't have that in place, I would honestly I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend it for everybody, but I did get a custody order set in place very early on, and it made my life a lot easier. And for me, I did not live in the same city. Like I live over 100 miles away from my child's father. So that means that unlike people who live very close to each other in Texas, where you guys have to like have contact on a weekly basis to arrange pick up and drop off and just communicate for the child's sake, the required contact that I needed to have with my child's father was a lot less because, um, you know, we are not doing a weekly basis type of scenario. So um, yeah, yeah, I would recommend definitely getting I mean, not for everybody, but for me to get a an order in place was helpful. And if you see that he is not upholding his end of the bargain, just move on. Stop expecting it from him. I know it's not fair, and it really pissed me off a lot. But you're not going to be the one to hold him accountable. And I mean, you can go through the court process. I think you can go through the Attorney General's office. I don't really know. I just know that attorneys are very expensive. And so when I thought of like holding my child's father accountable for anything, like it just wound up costing me way more money than I would get in child support in a year, you know? So, yeah, okay. So we'll go to therapy. We'll take care of ourselves so that we have a good, solid foundation for our emotional regulation. Um, we will consider um, a custody order, and we will decrease the expectations that we have placed on our children's fathers. And the final thing is this is what was impactful for me. I don't know if it will be the same for the rest of you. Um, but I would say forgiveness is a really important thing. And I'm not initially talking about forgiveness of your child's father for the circumstances that you all are in. I'm talking about forgiveness of yourself. For me, it was very important to me to go back and forgive the version of myself that became a single mother, the version of myself that was sharing intimate um, space with someone and not being considerate of who they might be as a father, and that way um, choosing a life for my child inadvertently that is less than what maybe I feel that she deserves. So it was important for me to go back and to forgive younger Alina for making those decisions. And when you are able to forgive yourself for your role in becoming a single parent, because the truth is, ladies, we do play a role in this by, um, you know, doing all the things that lead up to having a child, okay? So in forgiving yourself, it makes it easier for you to forgive your co-parents. And I found that in forgiving myself, I was able to more easily put myself in the shoes of my partner or my co-parent and just give him grace. And it allows you to like, I don't know, to have a healthier relationship with your co-parents and also with your child, because when you have all this angst toward the your co-parents, it becomes really hard to have even a neutral positioning when talking to your child about their father. It makes it hard. So forgiveness is a really important part of at least having a neutral um, responses, conversations toward the co-parent. And furthermore, ultimately, we want to have positive conversations with our child about their co-parent and be supportive of their relationship if it is, healthy and not abusive type of situation. So those are just the things that I've learned over time. Like I said, I'm almost 10 years into co-parenting. And these are the things that I've learned, and I'd say my co-parenting relationship is better than it ever has been. I'm not definitely not saying that we're friends, and that's not a goal that I have in my life to be friends with my co-parent. But I think we have we have a working relationship right now. And I do feel that I have forgiven him for his role in this single parenting journey, and I have forgiven myself for, you know, my part in being a single parent and raising a child as a single mother. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this yap, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.